back to Morning Coffee. Megan here with another video on productivity and planning so that you can pursue your own version of more and love the way that you feel while you do it. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's video on how to prepare yourself to be productive and happy in a very busy season. If you love videos like this, you would be the perfect subscriber for this channel. Go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you are notified every time that I have a new video here on YouTube, and you can join in on my goal of accomplishing 1,000 subscribers here by the end of the year. Let's jump into the video. The reality of life is that at some point we're going to be busier than we are in other seasons of life. So this might have to do with something work related or something personal related. So for me right now, I'm working on something being really busy for me due to work. So I work in the wedding industry, which means that prime wedding season really kicks into gear in late summer, early fall. Basically from May to November, but really heavily in August through October, it's busy season. I am spending a lot of time at work doing work that is very mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausting. And approaching that season, getting ready to go into that season, I'm doing what I can to set myself up for success, understanding that it's going to be busy, and figure out how can I still enjoy my life, have the energy that I need to take on my life, but still get things done that either have to get done because it's a reality of living in the world, and also get to some of the things that I want to get done. And so that's an example for me of something work related. Maybe you're in the tax business, and so the April season is really busy for you. Maybe you're a teacher and the September, August season is really incredibly busy for you. Maybe you just had a new baby, or you're pregnant and you're about to have a new baby and you're thinking, wow, that's going to be a really busy season of my life. Or you're a mom of 4 and you know that once school starts again, whatever it looks like, it's going to be a really busy season for you. So I thought I would share some of the things that I'm doing to approach this busy season in my life so that the next time that you have a busy season coming up, you have some tips and ideas on how to streamline that process in your life. Let's get started. The first thing that I want to mention, I think, is probably the most important thing, but one of the easiest things to push off to the side because we always want to put other people and other people's needs before our own. But it's important in a busy season to remember to prioritize your basic necessities. What do I mean by basic necessities? I mean sleep and eating and drinking regularly. These two things combined are what give you the energy that you need to do all of the things. If you don't have a good sleep schedule, if you're really hungry, if you're dehydrated, you're not going to feel good at all. You're not going to feel good to tackle anything, not to mention tackle one of the busiest seasons in your life. And again, it's so easy to push these off to the side when it seems like accomplishing things for other people, for your boss or for your family, is more important. But you can't show up the best for them if you don't feel your best. And we always forget to prioritize ourselves. So in a busy season, it's important to remember that you should sleep and you should drink water regularly, whatever beverages you like, and that you should eat regularly as well. If it's too busy of a season for you to put huge restrictions on your diet or to exercise 17 times a week or whatever it is, you can still be realistic about this tip by just saying, I'm going to get 7 hours of sleep every night. I'm going to drink 1 bottle of water in a 4-hour period. We don't realize how these things that seem so small affect us so much. We're used to running on no sleep. We're used to being hungry or used to being thirsty. And we don't realize that the reason our body feels the way that it does is because we haven't given it its very basic necessities. So in a busy season, make sure you're understanding that a good night's sleep and making sure you're eating and drinking regularly is a priority and should be one of the first things that you make sure you can accomplish. I recorded a video called How We've Gotten Self-Care So Wrong. And in that video, I talk about how we expect pedicures and spa days to give us the energy that we need to navigate our lives, when really, if we just slept regularly, we'd probably feel a heck of a lot better. Again, that video was called How We've Gotten Self-Care So Wrong. I'm going to link it up in the cards so that you can go check it out and learn a little bit more about this topic and sort of my perspective on it. The second tip that I have for planning your life in a really busy season is to be very, very clear about your values and your priorities. And that sounds like this big, huge woo-woo thing that you're not going to have time to take care of, but I promise it can be simple and easy. In a recent video, I went through the goal setting pages at the front of my Day Designer Planner. I'll link that video up here below. And there was a values exercise in there where it listed out different areas of your life, and it gave you 4 categories of like very important, somewhat unimportant, and unimportant. And it didn't take me very long to go through it, but it really clearly made me go, oh yeah, these are the things that are most important to me. My marriage, my career, the work that I'm doing here on Morning Coffee, and my relationships with people, right? Like these really are the things that are the most important things to me. And how this is helpful is, for example, recently I was at work. I had a meeting scheduled with a client. The meeting went an hour and a half over its scheduled time. The client was sort of using our meeting as a meeting to discuss other things that didn't involve me. And so after essentially doubling the time that I had committed to that meeting, I did let them know, I'm so sorry. I have someone waiting on me. I need to leave. I did my best to accommodate them in the time. Here's where you can work. Here's how I can help you while I'm away. All of the things. And I felt guilty about that, even though it wasn't my fault that the meeting had gone that late and there wasn't anything else that they needed from me. I felt guilty about that. But when I was driving home, I was like, when I did that values exercise, I identified that the relationships in my life are more important to me than my career. And so by cutting that meeting off and heading home so that I could be with someone who was waiting on me, I acted in alignment with my values. And that made me feel instantly better. It said, you know what? I met the expectations here. I have put something else as more valuable in my life than this thing. So although it's not a good solution either way, I'd love to give everything I have to both things, I have to choose one or the other. And I've already told myself which one is the most important one. So making the decision became easier. I did it. I felt a little bad about it. But again, it made me feel better knowing this is me acting in alignment with my values. And so I encourage you to think about doing this exercise. They actually have a free printable. So Day Designer, my planner, has a bunch of free printables on their website. I will link them below, where you can get this values exercise, just a free printable, and you can do it yourself. Or just take out a notebook and do it. But again, this sounds like it's very esoteric and just sort of like out there. And you're like, this doesn't have any practical applications. But I hope that example shows you that it really does. Like, you're going to encounter these scenarios over and over in your life. And in a busy season, the reality is you just don't have unlimited resources to go around. You don't have unlimited time. You don't have unlimited energy. You don't have unlimited hours of the day to devote to things. And so you have to get intentional about where you want to spend them. And so that's why I feel like this tip is important, to understand your values and the things that you prioritize in your life and in what order, so that when there's something occurring that's fighting between those two priorities, you've already defined for yourself the best choice to make that acts in alignment with your values. Often we feel tension in our lives. When we feel that feeling in our heart and there's tension, it's because we're not acting in alignment with our values. We feel bad about something. It means that what we value and how we're acting aren't on the same plane. You're here or you're here, and that's why you feel so much tension. So understanding your priorities and your values will help you make great decisions about how to spend your limited resources in a busy season. My next tip for planning your life during a busy season is to streamline everything that's not super important. And what I mean by that is the reality of life is that things have to get done. Housework, picking up prescriptions, making food for dinners and stuff like that, they just have to get done. Even though I'm in a really busy season and I'm saying that spending time with my husband is important to me and working is important to me, my channel is important to me, I can't just not do laundry or clean or make food. That's just not a reality. All of those things have to occur, but they aren't a priority. So how can we make those things easier, faster, more efficient, more streamlined, just kind of get them on a cycle where they aren't an issue for us? So I've talked about a couple of things in videos before, which I will link for you. So I have a video on ways to automate your life. I will link that up here. So that's like getting your bills on automatic pay, getting your prescriptions delivered on a schedule, considering a meal service, considering maybe hiring some extra help if you can afford it, like a cleaning lady or a babysitter a couple hours, a couple days a week. Where can you seek help? Where can you find ways to be more efficient that'll save you time? So for example, I love to do Walmart grocery pickup. Instead of having to park the car, walk into the store, go through the store, buy everything that I need, check out, load it into the cart, load it into the car, bring it home, and do all of that, I could easily just do my groceries online. I order all my groceries online. I set a time to go pick it up. I go pick it up during that window. They put everything into the car and I come home. It cuts the time in about half, if not more. Plus, I'm not spending all the time in the store. And I love it. Grocery shopping for me isn't a priority. It's something that I'm totally fine handing it off to someone else. And it saves me time. For you, that may not be it. Maybe you love to pick out your own groceries. That's totally fine. Find an area in your life that you don't care that much about and you could give to somebody else. Or you could find an easier way to make it happen. Paying bills has to happen, cleaning has to happen, eating has to happen, right? So what can you do? How can you be creative to find ways to get those things done quickly, more efficiently, not by you, so that you do have time to focus on those priority items and just surviving the busy season. And hey, maybe having a little bit of time to yourself, which is also important. So I encourage you to think about that. How can you put things on autopilot, ask for help, hire help if you can, to make the things that aren't important to you just an easier process? I hope you enjoyed this video today on planning for productivity in a very busy season. I hope that it has supported and encouraged you, because that's exactly what this channel is for. It's about supporting and encouraging each other, meeting ourselves where we're at and saying, this is a real thing that I'm facing in my life and I'm trying to figure out how to do it and how to do it and be happy and enjoy my life. That's exactly what this channel is for, and so I really hope you love this video. I will be back for another video on Sunday and Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.